Hi. So happy Saturday. Me
Sunday.
and Zachariah, we're going to be making moon sand or moon cloud sand. And we're going to be making two different variations. So the first one, you're going to need something deep enough to mix it in. You're going to need 2 cups of flour. The recipe calls for 8 cups of flour, but if you cut this in half, you can do 2 cups of flour. And it calls for vegetable oil or some people use baby oil, but we're going to use about 1 cup of oil to mix this together. And you're going to need your measuring cups and possibly something to stir with. So here's our measuring cup. We can use a whisk or a spoon, or you could just jump right in there and get your hands dirty and stir it with your hands. Zachariah saying hi.
You know it.
And food coloring if you want various colors. And here we just have our 4 colors here. We have red, blue, green, and yellow. So we're going to decide what color we're going to use. And then when we're done with this, we're going to move on to the next one. So, and we also have things you can put in there. So we have 2 racing cars right here that you can play. You can do dump trucks. You can make a sensory bin out of this by adding beads, glitter, little tiny toys, little squishy things with texture. Or you can use beach toys, which we have some here. And these are the beach toys. We bought these from Baker's and they were on sale for $4.19. So you can go to your local Dollar Tree, which everything's $1, or your Dollar General, and everything's anywhere from $1 to $5 or more, or Family Dollar if that's the closest to you, or just use anything around your house to place inside of it. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this project that you can do at home. And again, all you need is basic everyday items that are in your cabinet. So we get your flour open here, and this could get a little messy. It doesn't have to, but it can. So I'm going to have Zachariah measure out 2 cups of flour and go ahead and put it in the bin. And make sure when you're measuring that you make sure that it's not heaped up, that you go ahead and scrape it off the top. It's probably easier if you have your flour already pre-measured before you get to the table, but for sake of showing this video, we're going to show you the flour. He's going to dump it in. That's 1 cup. The bin. Okay. And here's the second one. So how has everybody been doing? I hope everybody's staying safe and keeping themselves together as much as possible. I know a lot of people are in their yards working, and because spring is here and spring's alive, and getting gardens going and making their outdoor living space comfortable. And I hope you guys are taking advantage of that and getting as much needed yard work done if you're in a house, and if you're in an apartment, I hope you're enjoying balconies if you have them, and just allowing the air to go flow through, because that's what we do. We just open it up and just let the air flow through, and it's really beautiful and relaxing. We have toads and crickets over here, and so we just hear them at night and don't mind the noise, because nothing ever happens perfectly when you're always doing something. All right, so now we're going to measure out our oil. Yeah. Okay, so you want, okay. And we're not going to fill this all the way up. We're going to fill this to about 1/4 till the top. And we're just going to pour that right inside, and then we'll show a picture of that. Well, we'll turn the camera on it. And this is what it's going to look like inside. try to angle that camera just a little better. Okay. And then what you do is then you start stirring it or whisking it. So Zachariah's gonna whisk it together until it forms the consistency of sand. If you need to add more flour, you can, or more oil. Well, I got this idea off of YouTube. Just looking for some really do-it-yourself ideas for the kids at Completely Kids, and things can be costly. So, you know, we're all trying to budget, but it's just good to learn to know how to do this at home for yourself. If you're getting in the age range for as a babysitter and you don't really have nothing at your house and you are a preteen, you can go in the kitchen and find oil and flour, and or some of the other products we're going to show you on the second opportunity. So right now, this is what this consistency looks like. It just looks really kind of doughy. So since it's a little wet and doughy, we're going to continue to whisk it together. And if we have to, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some more flour. And you are going to get this onto your hands here pretty soon, because you're going to need to knead it together. It was said that perhaps maybe you can add essence oil if you wanted to have a particular scent, like vanilla and or lavender or coconut. Some of those smells that are really relaxing. They're said to be very stimulating or relaxing for whoever's working in this with this. Okay, so right now it has a Play-Doh like consistency, so I'm going to add a little more flour, because this is not sand, this is like Play-Doh. So, or even if you just wanted Play-Doh, if you wanted to have it like Play-Doh, what you could do is just leave it like this if you wanted a Play-Doh like form. But because we're trying to get it to be like sand, and this is kind of feeling kind of like wet sand, but what we want to do is have it maybe a little more drier. So we're just going to go ahead and add a little more flour. And we're just going to roll it in the pan to see how, yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's a little more drier, but yet it is sticking together. And Zachariah you're going to show what yours look like now. So it's not as loose as sand, but it has that texture of what sand is like when it is damp and when you squish it together. Like when you're making, when you are making sand castles and whatnot. Now, I will say this. When you are working with this, make sure you have something on that you do not care if it gets some oil on it or food coloring on it. You want to make sure that it's kind of like a play shirt or something like that, because the oil can get on your hands and on your fingertips, and then it can get on your clothes. And because this is flour and it's holding oil, you don't want that to get stuck in your clothes. So make sure you have something on that you really don't care about. When you are done with this, you can store it in a baggie or something that has a very tight lid on it, and then you should be able to go back to it. Now, you can add glitter to it, like I said earlier, or a little foil, like it's like chunks. It looks like glitter, but it's probably has hearts and leaves and things like that. And you could just press that in here. And so this is what this is like. We're gonna, this is a little looser. Zachariah's is looser because he kind of manipulated it a little bit more. Do you want more flour on it?
Nah.
You like it like that?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna open up the toys, and as you can see, it did not yield very much. This is enough for 2 people, but if you have more than 2 people that are doing this, you can do the full 8 cups. And then you can do the full 8 cups. And these are kind of big. I mean, this would be better if you have like, you know, bigger pieces, a bigger bucket. Because this shovel, I don't know what I thought I was doing with this, but
I mixed them.
You mixed them both together? Okay.
To see what they will both.
So Zachariah said he mixed them both together. He mixed the kind of wet with the dry. And see, we have like a little castle here, and we have some shovels right here for digging and scooping, raking and clawing, and then sifting. So if you kind of wanted this dry, or if you just wanted children to play with the flour alone, it has that really cool feeling to it. You know, it has kind of that loose chalky dirt where you could just kind of sift it, and the kids can play with that as well, and just place things inside the flour. And if they wanted to do treasure hunting, or you wanted to put a timer on and say, hey, I want you to look for the marbles or the beads, and then just give them these tools to manipulate for hand-eye coordination, it would be great too. And this is, to me, this is pretty cool. I like the texture. This is fun. This is something I would sit and just roll in my hands or play with, because it's she's different. So, oh, it's a little squishy. It almost reminds me of sugar cookies too. The consistency of a sugar cookie. Oh, it's stuck in there. Yeah, it smells like oil. Yeah, oil and flour. So did you like it, Zachariah? What do you think about it?
It's not that bad if you like, if you want to like take your mind off of something.
Did you ever think you can make sand out of like a Play-Doh moon sand consistency out of flour and oil?
No, I don't think that.
Isn't this, but it's cool though. Would you ever show this to your friends, or walk your friends through how to make this? If you were just at home and you wanted to say, hey, there's something cool I want to show you.
No.
So you wouldn't do this?
No.
Even if you could turn this to blue or green? You want to turn it to another color?
No.
So we're going to turn this to what color? What color are you using? We're going to now change the color. Should we break it into the little balls?
Red.
Red?
Yeah.
Okay. So with the food color, all you need is a couple drips.
I'm about to place this right here.
Okay. 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 So we're going to put this right here. We're going to put the bucket underneath there. Right here. Maybe, can the camera see in there? Nope. Okay, that's the ball. And Zachariah is going to add a couple of drops of food color. Now, you want to be careful for this. Okay. Oh, there you go. You're gonna get that all over your hands. So if you have gloves at home, like plastic gloves, you want to get those plastic gloves out of my bathroom? Nope. Okay. So he's just gonna go right in, and he's going to mix that up, and he's gonna turn this. See what color it turns to.
It might need to have more.
Let me see. Oh, wait a minute. That's pretty cool. Oh, God, look at that.
It looks like blood.
It does look like blood, doesn't it? Okay, so here's the thing. It did not mix as well as I thought it was going to, because it's not as crumbly.
It probably needs to mix while we're like stirring it up.
Well, let's try some more flour. How about that? Let's just throw some more flour into this and see what happens.
I really do not want to get this on my
Okay, so just put this in here. We're gonna add more flour, and we're gonna look at the outcome, because right now it's this very kind of soft clay, doughy consistency, and we're going to try to get this a little more. I mean, it has that sand-like feeling, that kinetic sand-like feeling, but we're going to try to get this just a little bit drier and see what happens. Because when you squeeze it together, it does stay, but we're going to go ahead and try to get this just a little bit more. Okay, so now we have a new texture. course, my phone does not want to do what I'm asking it to do. It does what it wants to do. Okay. So this is the texture right now. It's this kind of crumbly, almost crust looking, if you were making crust. And if you are a baker, then you know what I'm talking about. And so there, you still can form it into a ball. You can, here, let's get a measuring cup. There. So it does form into something. You can make it even drier if you want. So there's that. If you wanted to make a sand pie, which we all know about those, or mud pie, as I called it when I was little, where you was all about getting that pie together with sticks and leaves and rocks. Thing is, don't eat it. Don't let nobody talk you into that. Just pretend to eat it. Okay, there we go. So now we have a pie. It's not the kind you would bake, but... So yes, that's our first recipe, and then we're going to go on to the second one, which does use other ingredients. So we're going to put this bucket down on the floor. We're going to grab another one. Okay. Give me the other bucket, please.
Yeah, okay.
So this recipe is going to use some other household items. And this one is supposed to be more like a cloud sand. So with this one, we're going to use 1 cup of cornstarch. An eighth of a cup of dish liquid, and it said that this is to keep it from sticking. We're going to use shaving cream. So with that in mind, let's get going. Is the measuring cup over there, the 1 cup? Nope, it's right here.
Okay.
So are you excited for this one? Do you want to open that up?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, and then here is, oh God, I got it on my table runner. Really? Just
How do you
get
do
it
that?
with my knuckle.
Okay.
You did get it on your pants.
No. Oh.
Just stand up and shake yourself. Here, give me the cornstarch. Okay, I'm gonna measure this while Zachariah shakes himself loose of anything
Okay.
that he feel like is holding him back from being great over here. Okay, so we're going to use a 1/2 cup. So if you by chance, let's say your first cup is dirty, you can go ahead and use 1/2 of a cup to still get your measurements of a full cup. So what you're going to take is measure that off, top it off, scrape it over, dump it in. Now, the thing about some cornstarch, I want to tell you about the cornstarch. It is much finer. It's milled much finer, which means if it doesn't hit the surface you want it to, it's going to be a dust cloud and you'll be dusting or sweeping for some time. And you might find it in some places you didn't want it to be. So, 2 cups. And it looks like confectioner's sugar, like powdered sugar almost. It has oil on it. We're going to use this spoon. And do not use the whisk because it has oil on it. This does not call for oil at all. Although there might be other recipes out there that might call for that. So we're going to go with the dish liquid. And the video I saw had Dawn dish liquid, which kind of gave it an icy blue look. And you can also add essential oils to this as well, so that it smells amazing. But this ivory concentrated dishwashing liquid for tough grease, it smells good. It has a nice floral scent. You're rocking the camera. And then here's our shaving cream.
I want to do that part.
You want to do the shaving cream? Okay. Everybody loves the shaving cream. Okay, so with the shaving cream, it's going to be about 1 cup. But what we're going to do is just have Zachariah go ahead and squeeze that right in there. So this is what that looks like. And now he's going to start squirting. You got, okay, there you go. Okay. Yeah, that smells pretty good too. Okay, stop right there and just go ahead and give it. So this is what that looks like. It's all piled in there. So he's going to give it a stir to see what the texture is going to look like when we're done. Oh, I think I got shaving cream on my face. Shut up. Well, okay, here, look here. It is looking like a cloud. It looks like a fluff cloud. So I'm going to fill this. Oh, it's very fluffy. Oh my God. Okay, this is what this looks like. This is what this looks like. It is very fluffy. But you really have to get in there and mix it together.
Oh, wow.
It's so soft and pillow-like. I love it. But
it does stick to your hand.
As you can see, it is sticking to the hands. But so what that means is you got to get in there. They did suggest that you whisk it, but we used to whisk in the other one. So what I'm going to do is just go in here and stir a little bit until I can get it to kind of come together. And I might have to put in a little more cornstarch. So like I said, normally these ingredients are at home in your cabinet or in your medicine cabinet. And anybody can do this. Sometimes it's going to be trial by error. Sometimes you might want to tweak the recipe for yourself. Find other things that work. There's more than one way to make this. There's plenty of videos out there, or you can try it for yourself experiment-wise just to see what works, what combines, what doesn't, what gels together, what does not. Oh, wait a minute. It's forming. There it is. There it is. And as you can see, it's coming off my hands. It's taking a little work, but it smells really good.
Like some cologne. Yeah,
it's kind of like a fresh smell. Yeah, you're going to sweep all that up too.
Never mind.
This also can be stored in a baggie. You can add anything to this as well. If you're trying to make a landscape, you can add green for grass, brown for dirt.
Like some clay.
Yeah. Add a little gravel to it, but maybe not a lot, just to give it that rocky texture. Put your little play cards in there, little people. Girls, you can add your glitters to it, your lotion. Maybe lotion can be in the place of the shampoo. I'm not shampoo, but the dish liquid instead, or conditioner. So there's plenty of ways to try this. We're not done. So this is pretty cool. I like this. This is fun. It really came out more differently. I'm just going to use this little toy right here. Smush it in there. And it's really holding. This is also good for sensory. Anybody can make this. Anybody can do this. Use your imagination and do whatever you want with this. Let me see what happens here. See if it comes out. Oh, wait a minute.
No, you gotta take it apart.
I know. I'm trying to see if it'll come out.
I got it.
It's a little soft. Oh, it's a little soft on the soft side. I might have to add a little corn. I don't know if it needs more cornstarch.
You can take it out to watch.
Okay. It's not coming out. Well, okay, so I will say this. It will take the shape of whatever you stick it in, but it is more on the soft side. So this is more like if you did it with your hands. If you stick it in anything, it may stick to it unless you yourself find a consistency that works well with what you're doing. If you want it a little more drier, then you can add more cornstarch. If you want it just a tad bit, little bit wetter because you like the wetness of it, then you can go ahead and add more shaving cream to it or a little more dish liquid to it, depending on how you feel. But when you do squeeze it together, it does come together. You can make a little snowman out of it because, see, make little snowballs out of it and crumble it around, and it does look like snow. There. So that is that. You can also add food coloring to it as well. So I hope that you found this interesting and that is something you want to do at home. I'm going to give you something to do. Again, these are basic products that are in your cabinet or your medicine cabinet. You would need minimal 3 to 2. And if you want to make a larger, make it on a larger scale.
Oh, they can't see that. The camera
If you want to make it on a larger scale, you can add more to it. All right. Well, you guys have a great Saturday. Thank you for sitting with us. Goodbye.